So today starts with a quick trip that was planned yesterday. We first get on the subway, then we go past the Flatiron Building. This is a new part of New York City, so I took like a surrounding shot. You can see the Empire State Building from where we were, but then we went to the Harry Potter store. After the Harry Potter store, we traveled back to Times Square to go to the M&M Store.
Okay.
All right. What's the guess?
Yellow. Yeah.
I'm gonna say turquoise.
Mint or teal?
If I'm red, I'm gonna cry.
Definitely magenta. It's magenta.
It's like telling me my weight.
Oh.
Like rainbow.
It's magenta.
I
lied. Magenta. You're often become lost in thought.
No.
So here's a really cool video of the Paramount building, which I didn't even know we were by, but then we went and watched Come From Away.
You know those planes probably got some babies on them.
So I'm back to shoppers with neighbors.
Come From Away was awesome. I remember watching it when it was on tour in Oklahoma, I loved it here. So I was very excited to have the opportunity to watch it again in New York. By watching Come From Away, I didn't watch Company or Lion King, but that's okay, because I really just wanted to watch Come From Away out of the options that we were given. And Lion King, I'll have a chance to see it again when it comes to Oklahoma, because that's also coming on tour. But Company, I don't know if I'll have the chance to see again, which it's okay. I'll cut my losses with that one. But Come From Away was awesome. It's hard to explain. It's about a true story that happened because of the 9/11 attacks. There's an airport in Gander, Newfoundland, which is in Canada, that 38 planes touched down in, because they shut down airspace. Everyone had to land. 38 planes touched down in Gander, and it's about how that town accepts all these people that are just there now and stuck and can't go anywhere. And it's about the people on the planes, just how they went along with life for a few days as they were stuck on the ground and not being able to get to their destinations. And it's a really beautiful, coherent story that just flows so well from start to finish. This show didn't have an intermission, so it just went. It just flows perfectly from one song to the next as it tells this very cohesive story, jumping around sometimes from like one perspective to another, but it was just so nice, and it has comedy in it. Like there's some bits that are really, really funny. And for like the type of show that, for like the show that it is, and like what you would read about it before you go in, you wouldn't expect there to be those funny bits, but they are. And it's amazing. Like there's this whole song called Screech In about the people of Gander throwing this ceremony to make people honorary Newfoundlanders. And like that, it's a good, like, fast, quick-paced song in the midst of all of the like slow songs that have been happening, and it's really nice. Probably my favorite song out of the entire show, but Come From Away, probably third favorite show I watched behind Moulin Rouge and Beetlejuice. And that's still high up there because I love that show so much. And that was followed by the cast coming out and like talking to us, and like there were at least like 3 instances of us just having like a full conversation with the cast members, like when they walked out, and like a few of them even like said like, so theater kids, like they knew we were theater kids.
We're an awesome crowd. Theater students, right?
Yes.
Whereabouts?
We're from
Broken Arrow, Oklahoma.
Is that right? Tornado Alley. Well, welcome to New York, and I'll see you all on this stage soon.
Thank you.
For joining us.
so much.
So that was awesome, just to be able to talk to a few of them and have just normal conversation. That's something you don't really realize when you're just in your town of Oklahoma and never really go there. Like, you don't know that these people are just normal people, just like us. And when they're done with the show, they go home, take a nap, come back for the next one. That's their like 9-to-5 job. Just they get to perform on stage, and it's not like extracurricular, which that was really cool. But yeah, that show was awesome. I really hope I get to see it again someday, just by like a different tour group, or not on Broadway, because it was announced that it was closing, which is kind of sad, which is part of the reason that we watched it on Broadway. But just, I hope I get to see it again someday, somehow. I'm pretty sure it's streaming on like Apple TV, so maybe I get to see it there. But yeah, awesome show. And now we're only in the middle of the day, so back to the vlog. So we're at a 3-story McDonald's. That was the bit. But then we saw a billboard for Oklahoma, which is really weird. Because, like, why would you be in New York and want to travel to Oklahoma, of all places? So then we dressed all fancy because it was time for our fancy night as we went and watched Paradise Square. Last and final show, Paradise Square. That was really cool because it was the original cast. It was the original cast, and they did a really good job. Personally, with the show, it wasn't my favorite. For me, Act 2 really pulled the show, like carried the show for me. Like, Act 1 was fine, and it had really good bits, and definitely, like, all of the dancing, both Irish and not Irish. It was really enjoyable, and I enjoyed watching it. But Act 2 had, like, heavy hitters such as it had more of the storyline versus the beginning. And towards the end, the main character does this, like, ballad, this, like, come together 11th hour number, and it was really, really, really good, like, amazing. And it was so amazing that we still had story and songs left, but we gave there was a standing ovation that lasted at least like 3-4 minutes, because it was just that good. Like, it truly was probably the most amazing singular moment of any of the shows I watched. But that being said, there's definitely parts of it that I didn't necessarily enjoy. So yeah, personally, this show wasn't my favorite, but it was still all around a good show, and I would recommend going to see it, especially now, since it's like the original cast. So Paradise Square closed since I recorded that video. It closed back on July 17th. So, yeah, you're not going to be able to watch it. Especially now, since it's like the original cast, and they won Tony Awards. Like, yeah, that's a thing. So the leading actress, after she, like, put on a heck of a performance, came out and talked to us after the show, like, at the stage door. And it was just a normal conversation. And then 24 hours later, she wins a Tony Award, just casually, which is just so cool. Like, we had a normal conversation with this lady, and then, like, literally almost exactly 24 hours later, she wins a Tony Award for Best Leading Actress in a Musical, and that's amazing. Like, I love how these people are just normal people. At the end of the day, they're just normal people like us. Another thing that happened was my friend really liked one of the Irish tap dancers named Colin. So we were towards the back of the group. When he came out, I went and got a playbill signed and gave it to her. And then later he was like walking away, like he was done with talking to everyone, done with the show, and he was just going home, because that's what they do in New York after they do a killer performance. They just go home. And what happened was I asked my friend if she wanted a picture, and she was nervous to talk. So I went up and I was like, "Hey, Colin, you did such a good job with the show." He was like, "Thanks." And then he saw my camera and was like, "Do you want a picture?" I was like, "Yeah." So I took a couple selfies, and then I went and I turned around and I was like, "All right, you two now." And then I got my friend a picture with Colin, and that was really funny. But yeah, good time at the show, fun, but overall not my favorite show out of the ones we've watched. But yeah, that was the last show that I watched in New York. I got no clips after that, so good night.